This is the Seven Figure Agency Podcast. Discover the strategies and techniques to grow a highly successful and profitable digital marketing agency with your host, Josh Nelson.
Everybody, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Seven Figure Agency Podcast. This is part of our Agency Success series where we're interviewing highly successful digital marketing agencies from across the country, really how they're growing, how they're scaling, how they're landing clients and delivering results. And I came across Billy Sticker, in our Facebook group, was just crushing it in the chiropractic space, getting lots of really, really powerful results. So I wanted to reach out to him and say, hey, would you be willing to come on and share? And he said yes. So Billy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Josh, thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it. Been following you for a while, and the content, I love what you're doing, giving true value, helping people that are wanting to help others. And so I appreciate you having me on and appreciate all you do for the profession.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I guess before we get started, just kind of introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your agency, who you serve, and kind of the lay of the land.
Sure. So I'll try to give you the Reader's Digest version because I'm great at making a short story long. But my background is really sales and marketing. In ministry, we were in youth ministry for about 13 years. But in this part of Texas, there are several coin companies, precious metals. We sold silver, gold, platinum, some coin, like the very first gold coin ever in the United States was issued in 1795. I've sold a couple of those. Just really neat things. So I was in this profession, was doing really well. I just wasn't happy. And there was a chiropractor who had multiple offices in our location or in our area, and he was looking for somebody to come do the marketing. Well, I have no college. My wife and I have been married going on 25 years. She is a nurse, but whenever we got married, I just went to work and started self-education, I guess you would say. There's 4 bookcases on this wall that you can't see, those 3, and then 2 more here and 2 more in our bedroom. So I've always been in the mindset, if there's something you want to learn, somebody's written about it, go buy those books. And so whenever I found this chiropractor that was looking for somebody to handle the marketing, I knew I could do this. So I typed up my resume and I put together an 11-page marketing plan. There was just all kinds of different marketing tips and strategies. And I gave him my resume with this marketing plan. And he interviewed me 3 different times. And he said, I think he interviewed 8 to 10 people, but he kept coming back to me. He's like, look, you're the only one that doesn't have a college degree, but this is really good. He goes, I could use this marketing plan and implement this stuff and grow my practice without you. What could I do if you were here? So that was kind of really my first, I'd been to a chiropractor before. My dad had a good friend that was a chiropractor, but I really didn't know what it was until I started, in the profession, and really fell in love with what it means. And not to be super spiritual, but, a lot of people think chiropractic is neck pain and back pain. It's so much more. There's more chiropractors. They tend to live a more health and wellness lifestyle than most medical doctors. It is about that lifestyle, and it lined up with what I believe as a believer, that God created our bodies to heal. And I fell in love with the profession. So I did that for a couple of years. The issue is I just wasn't making as much money as I did in the precious metals business, but still I fell in love with the profession. And then that opened the door for me to start doing some consulting back in 2008. That's about whenever this was, 2007, 2008. I actually started the very first podcast for chiropractors, and it was called Chiropractic Marketing University. I only did 6 to 10 episodes. It was horrible. Anyway, I stopped it back then. I wish I would have stuck with it. But fast forward 2015, 2014, I decided to just rebrand the podcast and just kind of start over. I already had a lot of connections in the profession. And we just rebranded it from Chiropractic Marketing University to just ChiroCandy. And it really started as just a podcast. I interviewed, the ideal is, look, I'm not a healthcare professional, but I think like a marketer, and I want to help chiropractors market. I want to help them think like that. And I just wanted to create value. One thing we did also is we helped chiropractors write books. That's another story, but so we were kind of doing that. And then one of the clients that we did a book for said, "Hey, have you ever done Facebook?" And I had, but never for, a chiropractor. And he said, "I was trying it. Ads kept getting disapproved. They shut down my ads account. I just didn't know if you'd ever done any of that before." I said, "You know what? Let's give it a shot." And so the first month he had, 50 something leads, and his case fees were around $3,000 to $6,000. So 50 leads, if only, 30% come in, he's still making, a fortune. And then he started referring people to us. And right now we are just over 180 accounts. Wow. Is how many we have. So, but that's been over the past, 5 years. We've kind of grown to that. Anyway, I can just keep on talking, but I'm going to stop and let you ask.
No, that's fantastic. So about 180 accounts. What does that amount to monthly recurring wise, if you could share?
Right now, well, this is one of the things that we do different. Okay. Now, when I started, I didn't take a course on how to start an agency. I just knew the profession. I knew chiropractors. I knew what I felt was totally fair. Because a lot of times whenever you have campaigns set up, there's not a whole lot of work you have to do. So our fees are $1,500 set up. After that, we only charge $595 a month.
Okay.
So we are a fraction of what everybody else is charging, but it works. We've got a lot of clients been with us a long time. We still do have some attrition, and I think one of the issues is so many people have taken courses on, Facebook. If that's what we focus on, Facebook, and we also do Google pay-per-clicks. But there's so many people that have taken a course and they decided, now they know how to do Facebook. They're going after chiropractors. I think that's one of the reasons we see, some of the ones that cancel, because they're getting bombarded all the time with, "Hey, let me do your ads. Let me do your ads." Fortunately, a lot of the clients we get every month are people who used to be with us, left, went somewhere else, and then now they're coming back. So we see an awful lot of that, which there's a lot of principle. There's a teaching moment in that. Whenever somebody does quit, make sure you are extremely professional, that it makes it easy for them to come back.
Absolutely. Never leave one back turned, right? It's a great point.
Right. If you were like, "Well, you know what? Well, you just weren't doing this, and this." Now, there's sometimes that's the case. Look, you can't say we're not working whenever you were totally non-compliant. You didn't do anything, but you still just, "You know what? Look, we appreciate your business. We're always here in the future. If you need anything at all, reach out to us." And it makes it easier for them, to come back. So.
Absolutely. Anyway. So we're completely focused on chiropractic. The agency is called ChiroCandy. 180 plus clients on retainer-based service, predominantly running ads to generate leads and new patients into the practice. Sounds like you landed on the niche. Was it for an actual job at this chiropractic office where you were marketing director, and that's that 10-page plan, and that's how this whole niche kind of materialized for you?
Well, back then, Facebook was really more for just colleges, college students.
Yeah.
It wasn't what it is today. That really introduced me to the profession and what it really meant. I don't know of another profession that's as passionate about their message. Maybe ministers, chiropractors and multi-level marketing people, right?
Up at that
They
high
all have a
level,
message
right?
they're trying to share, right? And I just, really fell in love with the profession. So that really got me in the door. And that actually builds a lot of credibility with our company whenever people, which I like to get into this here in a minute, our process from attracting clients, from scheduling calls, what that looks like. But whenever they hear that I'm not just somebody who took a course and decided to target chiropractors, that, for 12 years now, 13 years, we've been involved in the profession. I travel and speak I've spoken at a lot of the different colleges. I've been to London to speak to chiropractors, to Paris, all over. We really have done a good job getting known in the profession. So
That's great. That's great. So I guess before we talk about how you land and how you deliver for your clients, can you talk a little bit about like what it is, like what the package, I guess you did a little bit. So it's a setup fee and then a monthly fee to manage ads and generate new patient inquiries. Bottom line?
pretty much, yes. So we do $1,500 setup, and then it's $5.95 a month. That's just for Facebook and Instagram. If
Okay.
they want to do Google, also, it's an additional $250. Something else we do that I actually stole from a network marketing company was if if I have a client and they refer 3 other clients, as long as those 3 clients are active, then they get their Facebook done for free
Mm.
every month, forever, as long as they have at least 3 active referrals. We were a little bit hesitant, we thought it may be a good idea, and we tried it. And believe it or not, out of all of our clients, we may have 3 to get their stuff done for free.
Mm.
It may be more than that. My admin can tell me better. There's not a whole lot, because what happens is we have, you have a couple of accounts that, they'll refer, 8 to 10 people to you. And then you have some that will refer 1 or 2, so that is just something else that we offer that not many people do. And it works out well. They still have to pay setup fees. They still do all that. But we've actually had it before where somebody's paid a setup fee. That's been it. They referred
They
other
referred
people
3
to
people
us
that signed up before they even had to pay the first month.
the first month. And, and so as long as you're delivering and they're happy, where else are they going to go? Now,
Yeah.
obviously, the $5.95 does not include ad spend.
Sure.
They have to do that. But that's pretty much, our basic package. Now, that's going to be a couple of campaigns a month. We do have programs, some of our offices, they may be integrated and they may be doing stem cells or some of these things. And some offices do dinner talks once a week.
Mm.
There's different ways to set those up. We can do them a little more generic where leads come in and then their office their staff schedule them, for whatever workshop they have coming up. We like those a little because they're simpler to set up, but some want it to be very, very specific per campaign. Like, we're doing, this one is going to be Tuesday the 13th, at 6:00 at, whatever restaurant or whatever hotel, whatever. And if we're getting real specific on that, then we do charge extra to do more campaigns a month than what we normally do. So.
Got it. Great. It sounds like a great program. And of course, you're tracking and following up, and the value proposition is there, right? They spend their $5.97 plus
Right.
ad spend. They're generating more than enough in revenue to say, Billy, thank you so much. You're amazing.
Right. And I think also with what happened, during this quarantine the past couple of months, we were a little concerned. We did have some accounts that said, oh, hey, we just need to put our accounts on hold, which I get, but it wasn't that many. I think because we are at a lower price point than a lot of people, if you're spending, $1,500 to $2,000 a month for an agency, you're more likely to say, you know what, right now we got to stop that.
Right.
But if it's just $5.95, so you know what, let's keep that going. We still
Flies
need some more
underneath the
people
radar
coming
a
in.
little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But it's been great, and we've, considered raising prices some, but it works. And actually how we pay our staff, when we first started, it was me, 40 to 50 accounts. I did everything. I wore every hat. I did all the sales calls. I managed all the accounts. And you always have some accounts that are a little more high maintenance. You have some that they're great. And fortunately, I learned pretty quick. That was around the time whenever we started getting high maintenance accounts, we would just say, you know what, we're not a good fit. And we would, refer them out to somebody else. Especially if they're only paying us, $600 a month. I would rather not deal with somebody high maintenance whenever we can get somebody else. It's easy, and I do that. But then we started hiring, some staff. And the way we do that, we were paying them a salary based on roughly how many accounts they wanted to manage. But our staff, they're all local. Nobody's outsourced to the Philippines or anything like that. It's really people that we've gone to church with, or, somebody knew somebody or whatever. And we pay them $100 per account they manage. So if you want to manage 20 accounts, then you're going to get $2,000 a month, and you get to work from your house, get to make your own schedule. So it's not a bad deal. If they want more than that, they do more. Something else we just started is now, used to, I did all the sales calls. We were going on a mission trip, and my oldest son is actually married, and he and his wife both just graduated college. And he really helps run a lot of our business too. But I didn't want to not have any new business that week that we were going to be gone. So I said, look, do you want to take some sales calls? All you need to do is find out what's going on in their practice, what are their goals, let them know how we can help. I kind of laid out, gave him somewhat of a script, and then just left everything the same. End of the week, he signed up like 5 people.
Wow.
And all of a sudden I realized I don't even have to do sales calls.
Takes a lot. And that's I was talking with someone the other day. It's one of the most liberating feelings in the world when you can have someone else take the sales call and the business is happening without you having to do every single sales call.
And it's been great. So now I can still work on the business instead of working in the business. I don't manage any accounts. As a matter of fact, Brady doesn't manage any accounts either. He actually manages our staff. Mm-hmm. So all of our staff are required to have a one-on-one with Brady every week. They do it via Zoom, and they go over all their accounts. What's working great, what's not. And that's just a requirement. It's not optional. All of our staff have to do that. So, that's been great also. But one of the things I learned is we were always on the phone with staff, not our staff, but client staff. And a friend of mine said, why don't you just put all that in a training that their staff goes to? I was like, that's brilliant, So now we do have that. So whenever somebody comes on, we have a training for their staff on how to follow up with the leads, different scripts to use, different things like this. The mindset, because Facebook is nobody's going to Facebook looking for a chiropractor or a landscape company, or that's what they go to Google for. Mm-hmm. So it's a different mindset, and the staff needs to know that when they're following up. Just because somebody filled out a lead form doesn't mean they're going to show up, and that's okay. We know statistically 30% or more should. And so we kind of help them with some mindset stuff, following up very quickly. We want them to, have the mindset, look, if they say no, that's okay. That's one of the 7 that's going to say no. Go find the 3. And because it's easy for their staff to get a negative mindset. If they're not accustomed to somebody saying no, all of a sudden in their mind, all Facebook or Instagram.
These are all garbage leads. I don't even want to bother.
All garbage. And so they just don't treat any of them that way. And you can't have that. Mm-hmm. You have to have a level of expectancy, knowing that they didn't accidentally click on the ad and accidentally type in their name and phone number and email and all that. So we have some training for that. And then we also have some training for for the doctors on some things that we ask them to do. We try to make it very simple. So we have that. That was a major growth point for us whenever we implemented that.
So it's
And
like a
then we
membership
realized
area that every client gets access to, and their staff has access to these modules that train them on,
right,
these are the types of leads you're going to get. This is how you need to think about these leads. And these are some scripts you can follow to kind of book as many of these as possible.
right.
And you found that
And we
helped
use
them get it.
Teachable.
They get it. It's like, okay, now I understand how to deal with this better than if you just sent them the leads, pretty soon they're like, oh, these leads are no good.
Right. And so something else that we realized is we use Teachable. So it's great because it shows you, did they actually go through the training? We said, look, you didn't even go through the training. So we realized when people would cancel, the majority of people that would cancel, they do it within the first couple of months. And most of them never went through the training. They didn't do a few other things that we asked. So what I started doing, I got this idea from Russell Brunson. They realized the same thing with ClickFunnels. The people that were canceling never went through their onboarding, never really learned how to use it. So he would send out a free shirt once you completed just a little onboarding process. So we did something very similar. I designed a shirt. I thought I may have one sitting in here, but it just says, who's your chiropractor? And this is ChiroCandy, real small at the back. It cost us, $8 to $10 for these shirts. So now, as soon as they go through the training, the doctors get a shirt and their staff gets a shirt.
Love it.
We will spend $20 if that means we're going to keep a client much longer. It's a no-brainer.
Great social proof is if you can get them in the shirt, all the better, right?
That's right. That's right. So, that was something that was real big for us. Something else, whenever I was doing all the sales calls, and some of the listeners can probably relate to this. Some of them, I know they're thinking, I would love to get one sales call. How do I get sales calls? And we can talk about that in a minute. But one of the things is, there were certain days where I may have 7 or 8 calls in a day. Mm-hmm. And after your third one, they kind of run together. You kind of forget, did I already use this example? Did I do this? And it was just so much. That same friend that gave me the idea about, putting the training together for their staff said, why don't you just have a pre-call video where that's your sales pitch? They schedule a call. They're required to watch a short video. It's the sales pitch. This is why you do what you do. This is what makes you different. We don't go over any pricing, I don't think, on that. But it's just who we are, why we're different, so on and so forth. And then by the time they get on the phone, you're just answering a couple of questions and getting their credit card information. Mm-hmm. And so that was a big change. And we still use that video. Wow. And so now we have 2 designated salespeople that take sales calls. Every once in a while, somebody will request, I need to speak to Billy, and so I may do a sales call. I did one last week, for example. But normally it's them. Something else we did for our staff, though, is if you're managing, these 20 or 30 accounts, and one of those, your accounts, sends in a referral, you get the option to take that sales call. So not only do you, if they sign up, which there's a great chance they are, if they're a referral from somebody that you're already working with, and the way we look at it is they're referring somebody because you're doing a good job. So if you take the sales call, they get a $300 commission whenever they sign up, and they get an additional $100 a month. So it grows their income as well. So those are some of the different things. I feel like we're kind of all over the place, but those are some of the things that in the process of how we run our agency, it's just been great for us. It keeps our, the staff's happy. They have more opportunity. So it's working well.
Tremendous insights, guys. And if you're getting value, be sure to hit the like button or say, hey, thanks, Billy. This is great. I love the agile team structure that you have, right? You don't just pay people salaries. You kind of have it structured out by what they they get paid based on the amount of accounts that they handle, and that gives you almost unlimited scalability. And it's because of the one-on-one calls, you can kind of monitor the quality, right? The one-on-one calls with your son. It's your son, right, Brady?
Right. Yes. Yeah. I'm 45. He's 22. And whenever we first started, he was getting ready to move off to college. He actually went to Bible school for a couple of years in Dallas, and then finished his degree at Dallas Baptist University. But we were trying to get him, like when he was a senior in high school, my wife was like, look, you should, work in the business, do some of this stuff. When you're 18, you've got the world figured out, right?
Yeah.
No. And he was, that was 5 hours from where we live now. And he would come in on the weekends, and it was during Christmas one year. Actually, I had gone and spoken at an event and had like 15 new accounts, like in one weekend sign up. And I was kind of in the weeds trying to get everything set up. And I said, look, I will pay you X amount of dollars to help set up these accounts. And finally, he's like, done. I'll be right there. And so he started, getting in the business. And I think when it comes to staff, and I'm sure, Josh, you can relate to this, you have some team members that are great at following instructions.
Mm-hmm.
You tell them the steps to do, they are going to do those steps. And then you have the ones who they understand the steps and they understand why you're doing those steps. If you're doing these steps to get to this result, what if there's a few different steps that might make that result bigger or easier or whatever? And that's really how Brady thought. And we have a few staff like that now. They just see the bigger picture. And it wasn't long till I realized he's really good at this. He gets it, and he's better than I am at a lot of this stuff now, which I am totally okay with. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. There was a conference I went to one time, and it was all about being a CEO. It was pretty much for chiropractors, but there was some of us in there that were just involved in the profession that weren't doctors. But one of the exercises we went through is there's 3 different things we had to write down. The first thing, he said, I want you to write down things that you do that you hate doing, but you feel like nobody does them better. Just write those down. Now I want you to write down things that you do because you're good at, but you don't necessarily love doing it. It just needs to be done, so you do it. Then I want you to write down the things that you do that you love doing. You would never delegate because it just lights your fire doing these things. He said, so from now on, here's what we're going to do. You are never going to do what you don't like doing. He called that red, yellow, and then green. You're never going to do the red. You're never going to do the yellow. Delegate that. And you know what? If they're doing it 80% compared to your 100%, that's okay. They're never going to grow. So you have to be okay with that. But when you can start delegating and loosen up the reins, giving them some control, that's when you can actually work less. You focus on the green, you work less, and you can make more. And something else he said is when you're doing the stuff you don't like doing, it stops momentum in your business. When you're doing the yellow, the stuff that just needs to be done, it slows down things. But when you're focused on your core competency, what you love doing, that fuels momentum. And if you can focus on just those things and let other people do the rest, that's when you can really grow. And that is whenever we saw a lot of growth. One of the issues we would have as we would grow is, now I have no issue spending money on ads. So we have referrals coming in. I do go and speak, and we still have a podcast, so people come in that way. But I will spend $6,000 to $10,000 a month on ads. It's fine. I know we're going to see a return in that. So one of the things that would happen is we used to pay our staff a salary. But let's say that we're paying people based on them willing to manage about 20 accounts. Well, we do still lose some accounts every month.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 7 to 10 a month we lose.
Yep.
Fortunately, we gain 20 or more normally. But what was happening is that means we're having to hire somebody new every couple of months. If they're only going to manage 20, every couple of months I'm having to hire somebody new. Well, what had happened is we turned around and we have all these staff that we're paying to manage, let's just say 20 accounts. But because of people canceling, they're all averaging 15 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now our payroll is inflated and we're hiring more people. And that's whenever we made that change. Like, okay, we're not doing that anymore. Really just didn't say anything. So
I mean, everything you shared there was tremendous, tremendous insights. And I think what you were talking about there is finding people that play at what you have to work at so that you can do the things that you really enjoy, that you're passionate about. And that frees you up to put talented people in place to really get some momentum going. So a question that everybody wants to know, and it's coming up in comments. So 20 clients this month, on average 20 clients per month. What's the mix look like? How do you get that many clients coming in on a consistent basis?
it's a great question. And I do want to say some of it I think is just favor. We have been around long enough. A lot of people, they do know who we are. But even if, I mean, I see these people that are going after chiropractors, for example, I wouldn't recommend it. Like right now, if you're starting off, I just think there are other niches that aren't as crowded
Not an
as the
easy niche.
chiropractic
It's
space.
definitely not a blue ocean right now.
It's not. And it's not that I'm worried. I mean, we still do great, right? We're, I think, right now 120 to 130 revenue a month. So we're doing fine. But if you're starting off right now, I just think there's other areas. We have something that I teach, and it's just called the 5 Ps. And I was talking to somebody last night at church about this. He's wanting to start his own business, not necessarily an agency. He's just wanting to start his own business. And I think the first thing you have to do is figure out what problem you're going to solve. If you want to make money, solve expensive problems for rich people. That's great. And that can go as deep as, think about everything that you pay for. A lawn company, they're solving a problem. You don't want to mow, right? A pool company, we have somebody that cleans our house. When you go to a restaurant, some of it is kind of for entertainment, but you don't want to cook, right? These are people that are solving problems. And then it can grow from there. But in an agency, are you going to work on SEO? Is it going to be lead generation? Is it going to be, web design? Whatever it is, just decide what problem it is that you want to solve, and for who. Who is it you want to solve these problems for? And then that's going to lead to the second P, which is the product, right? That's what it is you're actually going to do. Is it going to be Facebook and Instagram, or YouTube, or Google, or web SEO, text messaging, whatever it is? Just find out, figure out the problem, what product you're going to use to do that, and then you have to come up with a plan. The plan is what does that look like? How do you get your first client? And the first client, so you have the problem, the product, the plan, but you have to have proof. So once you kind of know, you have an idea, well, I'm going to do Facebook ads for chiropractors. That's the plan. Well, now we need proof, right? And that's what we did. We had Dr. Aaron Gum was his name. We wrote a book for him. He wanted us to do some Facebook ads. So now we need the proof. 50 leads the first month. And all of a sudden we have that testimonial, and we didn't charge him anything. I mean, he'd already paid us to do the book for him, but he didn't charge us to do Facebook. We did that, or we didn't charge him for that. We did it for free. And it was unbelievably worth it, because he was an influencer and started referring people to us. And so that's the proof. Once you have the proof, then your last, your fifth thing is the promotion. And the promotion can be a couple of things. Promotion can just be scaling, but it's also having people in your business that you can promote with the business. So we can spend a lot of time on those 5 Ps.
That's a powerful breakdown of the 5 Ps. I love it.
But once you know what it is, and let's say if you're just starting off, you may try something. We actually used to do websites for people too. I didn't like it. I just didn't enjoy it. And we still, at least weekly, have somebody say, hey, do you guys do websites? There's a company that's pretty well known in the profession. We just refer people out to them. It wasn't our core competency. I'm just not going to build a business around something, that I don't enjoy doing. Now, a little bit of a sidetrack. We would do Facebook ads. We used Active Campaign and ClickFunnels. And we still do some of that, but we've recently switched over to High Level.
So good.
It's phenomenal. It's just really been a game changer. And it has been a little bit of a transition because our whole team is having to go through, this process. So we started using High Level, and Brady actually is the one that discovered it. And he tried it out on just a handful of accounts and realized, okay, this is really good. And then it has been a process, us moving everybody over, because sometimes if it's not broke, why fix it?
Why fix it? Yeah, it's tough to do that.
So you're like, do we really want to switch this? But it has been really nice, being able to, they've just done a great job developing their software. Anyway, what was I saying? So you have to figure out what it is. Like, you may start off doing websites and realize you don't like it. You may start doing SEO, but you just need some success. You need
validate that you can actually generate a result and prove the concept. And when you got that proof and you got a client that will sing your praises, the promotion becomes so much easier to go out and say, hey, here's what we do for this space, and here's the validation that we know what we're doing.
Absolutely. And what it does for you, right? It's also going to help you, get new business, but it does make you feel good because, you had this plan and it worked, right? You're proving it to yourself too. And it's great. I remember, we used to just charge $500 a month, and the goal was, can you imagine whenever we have somebody, like every day we have at least one client being charged? That's going to be great.
Yeah, 30 times 500, that's big money, right?
Yeah, we're like, oh my goodness. And now we're averaging around 4,000 to 5,000 a day. And I don't think we have any days that somebody's not being charged. But you start seeing the success, and then it's you start having these benchmarks, like, well, wait till I get 5 clients, and then wait till I get this, and wait till I get that. But if once you have your proof, it's going to be hard, but spend money on some ads. If you don't have the way to go out and get these referrals organically, just spend some money on ads. We look at things the way we look at our numbers. We're okay spending up to $200 just for someone to schedule a call with us, because we know 70% of the people we talk to will sign up within the next 90 days. Those are our numbers. Now, since the beginning of the year, even before COVID, a lot of times in the year, we always see a bunch of growth during the beginning of the year. Our cost per leads, cost per call scheduled, is averaging around $50.
Oh, nice.
It just dropped. So we're okay. We'll just keep spending the same amount.
Ratchet it up, right? If you go up to 200, you might as well crank it, right?
Right, but even if you're doing, let's say, $50 a day, or you're doing $100 a day, at first you're like, when you're starting off and you don't have those resources. But let's say that you get you have $1,000 that you can spend in ads. You borrow it, okay? And you get enough calls scheduled, and you need one person to sign up and pay, a setup fee, and now you're back even.
To recoup the expense, right?
Recoup it all. But when you can start looking at those numbers, man, it is tough to start. But yet, that would be one thing you can do. It's like, you know what, just spend money.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money to spend, what I would do is similar to, everybody talks about the Dream 100. Write down who are some people in that industry that are influencers. Reach out to those people and offer to do whatever service it is you're going to provide for free for some of the influencers. And just say, look, I love what you're doing for the profession. This is one of the things we do. Is there any way I can, do this service for you for free? You don't have to do it forever. You can either do it for a couple of weeks or do it for a month. But let them know. So, look, I want to do this for you. If it's working well, we just hope that you refer people to us. That can do it. Because if you can get a couple of key influencers that are singing your praises, man, it changes everything. And then people start seeing you with the same authority that they see them with if they're the ones recommending you. So that would be one of those two ways would be what I would recommend at first. Another way would be, what businesses are you already doing business with?
Reach out to one of them. That sphere of influence and reach out and say, hey, look, let's do something. I've got a concept or an idea. Let me prove it with you, right? Let me do this for you.
Absolutely.
Show you that it works. And now you've got the basis to go out and tell people, hey, look, I can help. Here's what I did for this guy or this gal.
Right.
Powerful. So there's a couple of questions in here I want to make sure we get to. So a couple of people are asking, what's the average spend for one of your clients in addition to your management fee? What do you recommend they spend on ads?
We recommend $25 to $30 a day minimum.
Okay.
One of the things we're real big about is building retargeting audiences. In the chiropractic niche, they are so passionate about their message. We like these docs to do short videos, and we have like 57 sample videos from our clients that we show them. Hey, here's tons of different ideas. And so we want some of that budget to go towards content in their community, because in Facebook, let's just take, anybody that watches 25 to 50%, you start building a retargeting audience. So that's kind of what we recommend. We have some offices that spend $10,000 to $12,000 a month in ads. So a lot of these are not regular chiropractic offices. There are some integrated offices, and they're doing stem cells. Where their case fees are $6,000, they'll spend, the money as long as it's working. We've never started someone off that high. We typically start them off, $30. Sometimes they want to go up to 50 a day, and then we'll, scale it up from there.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. I'm sure that's super helpful. Albert's asking, if they handle 20 accounts at $100 a piece, that's $2,000 a month. Are most of these people part-time, and this is something that they do on the side? Is that enough money to kind of?
Yeah, some do more, right? Like we have some that, they may manage 20 accounts, but they're also, doing sales calls, and they're averaging 10 accounts a month. What we pay a $300 commission, because we do a $1,500 setup, and we pay 20% of that in commission. So if they're managing 20 accounts, that's $2,000, and then they sell, they have like one guy's actually he pastors a church.
And it's a great additional supplemental income to what his true calling is.
Right. He manages about, I think, 10 to 15 accounts. That's all he wants. He doesn't want any more. And then he does sales calls. And it's perfect for him. But, we have some staff, they just don't want any more. And that's one of the things here recently we asked. We're like, okay, who can handle more accounts? And we try to keep them on somewhat of a rotation. Some people, that's all they want. Some people want to handle, 4 accounts. And because we do Google pay-per-click, We pay a little bit different for that, and we have certain people that manage those accounts. So if you're a client, you may have Holly doing your Facebook and Travis is managing your Google,
Makes sense.
and they're working together, right? Instead of having to teach all of our staff how to do both, we just have a couple that know how to do Google, because most of our income is from Facebook and Instagram. So
yeah, good insights there. So if we looked at your positioning in the marketplace and where the clients come from, you've got this podcast you've been doing for quite some time. You do speaking in the industry. Sounds like you're involved in the association. You've got a name for yourself and a database of prospects, and then you're running Facebook ads to generate like new prospects on a consistent basis. What would you say, like, where are the clients coming from for the most part across that spectrum?
I would say some referrals. I would say a small percentage is from the podcast. We normally get a few, probably at least 5 calls a month from the podcast. It's not a whole lot, but it's some calls that are coming in.
And is that podcast marketing centric, or is it just talking
yes.
about? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
it's chiropractic practice.
Pretty much, yes.
Tips and interviews with successful chiropractors.
Sometimes it's just solo stuff with me, and then sometimes I'm interviewing other chiropractors, other people that do coaching in the profession. We interviewed somebody who she's a CPA, and she's doing a lot of the PPP, SBA stuff that's going on right now. We interviewed her. She specializes they just work with chiropractors. So we had her on, the other day. I had somebody else on that they help people buy and sell chiropractic offices. So we may do stuff like that. It's great because it may not be marketing, but it was helping people. Okay, if I do eventually want to sell my practice, these are the things I need to be considering now. If I want to buy a practice, these are the things I need to be looking at. So, but normally it is more business marketing growth centric.
Got it. And so then you've got the referrals that are coming in from happy clients. And
we probably, I would say, as far as calls go, I really should have a better breakdown. I just haven't checked the numbers in the past couple of months. But we normally have, 5 to 10 a month that sign up that are referrals.
Wow.
Well, awesome. Somewhere through there. And then the rest come just from Facebook. Now we do a lot of retargeting, looking at our ads. The majority of the calls that are scheduled are from our retargeting ads, not just from, from cold.
They're not brand cold people that you said,
right.
Oh, let's target chiropractors and run these ads. Like, you've developed that warm list over the years and kind of moved down the funnel. On the referral side, so I think that's a function of providing a world-class service that's affordable, that has a tangible, measurable return on investment. And then you've incentivized them, like you said, where for every 3 referrals, you might get, free service, monthly service. Do you find that they're more incentivized by that, or just because they like the results they're getting and they want to have a good reference for their friends?
As far as why people refer, I don't know. I think it may be because it is a smaller amount. They're like, I'm not even that much worried about that. It's working for me. They're asking what's working. But you do have some that are like, hey, how many accounts, how many referrals do I have? Okay. I got a couple more, that I'm working on sending over.
It might not be the only reason, but there's a little bit of a, hey, this is going to help me too, right?
Right. I think that is some of it, and we've had some that, for example, their budget, let's say they're doing $1,000 a month on ad spend. And as soon as they get their 3 referrals, well, they want to spend the same. They just add that,
bump it to
their ad spend. Right.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Very, very cool stuff. And then on the Facebook ads, what's the angle? Are you leading with a case study of some sort, or are you leading with content, like just video-based content? What's usually the angle to pull someone off Facebook and into a strategy session?
Okay, so not for our clients, but you're talking about for us.
Yeah, for you, for ChiroCandy, yeah.
We do a little bit of both. We do have some that are more content. We used to do a lot more content that would lead people to a strategy session. I think because so much of it is retargeting now, a lot of it is just a cold. Well, I don't want to say cold. It's just an offer,
Mm.
right? Whenever we can say, hey, we're doing Facebook, we'll do your Facebook and Instagram for $5.95 a month. People are so used to paying $1,500, they're like, hang on now, what? And then so we have, and we test the different, scripts too. We have some that are long ad copy, short ad copy, what's working better. We have tons of different images. That's one of the things. Sometimes people comment, we have pictures of us in Paris or, Hawaii or whatever, just on vacation. And people will comment, what does this have to do with chiropractic? Nothing. But Facebook knows, like, if it's a
Interesting
picture of
image, right?
if yeah, and you guys may know this, but Facebook's algorithm, like their software knows what's on a picture, or they have a general idea. And if it's a picture taken outside with people in it, especially, a couple of people smiling, they consider that's a happy, positive image, and they show it more. Uh, and so we started testing it, and those work really well. That works well. We try to do tons of testimonials. When you start getting success, anytime someone says, man, hey, you guys are doing a great job, that is the perfect time to ask them for either a Google review, or to write, or to either write a review or to do a quick video testimonial for you. Video testimonials can be difficult for people to do. They just, sometimes they're embarrassed or whatever, but you need to make that a priority. So whenever people go to our website, when clients do to schedule a call, we have what we call it the perfect patient tribe turbine. It's just our process that we use to get leads for chiropractors. And I have a real quick short video that goes over that. So they go to the website, they watch this video. Underneath that, it's like 30 testimonial videos.
Testimonial. I was looking on the site earlier. It just scrolls and scrolls and scrolls.
And people aren't going to watch all of them, but there's a good chance they may know, oh, I went to chiropractic college with him, or, I used to coach with this guy or whatever. But the more of that you can do, it just builds credibility. So you want to get those, as many testimonials as you can. So basically the way our process works is, whether it's an ad, referral, whatever, they go to the same landing page, with the exception, like our staff each have their own path. So for example, chiropractic, or ChiroCandyMarketing.com/Renee. That's what her clients, her accounts send referrals to there, because then they schedule a call with her, or Travis, or, whoever our staff is that's handling that. But normally it's just ChiroCandyMarketing.com. And so anybody can go there and just kind of see what we have set up. But they go there, they click a button, and it takes them to a Jot form. What actually takes them to a ClickFunnels page that has the Jot form embedded, that they just answer a few questions about their practice. How long have they been in practice? We know we're not a good fit for everybody. And that's another powerful place to be. When you're first starting off, you just want people to pay you. But there comes a time when you're like, even if you want to pay me, please don't, because we're not your answer. We had somebody that was a referral the other day. Well, this has been probably 6 or 9 months ago. And I actually talked to them. They're seeing 50 patients a week between 2 separate offices. Well, the average chiropractor is going to be seeing around 150 a week. I just knew we weren't a good fit for this guy. There's
not enough volume to be a good fit.
Not enough. Yeah. And so we do see that from time to time, whether they're a brand new practice, or maybe they sold a practice, they moved to a new location, and we just know we're not going to be a good fit. We actually just released in April a course And we use the old name of the podcast, Chiropractic Marketing University, but it's a course that shows basically everything we do. It's like we've already decided new staff, they're going to go through this course to learn how to set up the ads. And we have 27 done for you copy and paste ads, that they can use. But it sells on our website for $19.95, or 3 payments is $675, I think is what it is, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did is we're taking that where people schedule a call with us, and if we know they're just not a good fit, whether they don't really have
try
the
this instead, right? And learn how to do it on your own.
right. And then what we do is we tell them, we sell it for $9.97 instead of the 19. So we tell them, look, you can go to our website, it's $2,000,
Mm-hmm.
but I can go ahead and take your card over the phone. I can get it for you for half price. And then once you get up and going, you increase your volume, we will actually give you a credit for what you spent on the course toward your setup fee.
I like that.
Yeah. And so that's working well too. And let me show you this. We just wrote a new book.
Love it.
And we're going to be promoting this to the profession. It's going to be the same thing. We're just using it. We just like you do with your book, right? You just, it's lead generation to get in front of more people, to eventually become clients, whether that's through the course or,
great positioning for speaking opportunities, great giveaway
right.
at those speaking events when you speak, tremendous positioning.
Yeah. And which I said a while ago, one of the other things we do is we help chiropractors write books. So I've written a few other books. This is something that, I don't know. It's just, if you've ever wanted to write a book, just do it. It doesn't need to be a priority. Go get clients.
Yeah.
But once you have clients, it's too easy now to write a book, use Amazon or Kindle Direct Publishing to get it printed. I think this one is $240 a book to print, or $250 a book, something like that.
Prints are so cheap that it's almost cheaper than a brochure.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's just going to help set you apart, from your competition. So
I think the book is one of the most powerful marketing assets that you can have, right? The social proof,
right?
Book, being up on the front of the stage, all extremely powerful marketing assets. This has been great, man. Thank you so much for sharing kind of like how you're landing these clients, how you've positioned yourself, kind of what you do for your clients. There's a question here. Ricardo wants to know if the 2 comma clubs are for ChiroCandy or for some other business that you run.
No, it's actually both different things we've done. Yeah, we kind of changed it up. We had one funnel, and then we changed it up, and we added some new stuff to it. And so that's both for ChiroCandy.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
So, and then I will get a new 2 comma club award.
Another one from the book. You're going to do a free plus shipping funnel on this?
Yes.
And then straight into appointments.
Yes, we actually, well, yeah, the way we have it set up right now is it's free plus shipping. Then we have a 20, well, you know what? I've got a sheet. Hang on here. I'm doing like Russell did. Oh, I don't have my. Did you ever see Russell talk about whenever they were launching ClickFunnels, they sent those packages out and he had the video card? Do you remember that, where you open up the card and it was a video? I ordered some from China, and they're all designed with our book. But because we do know a lot of influencers, we're getting ready to send them packages. We're going to get them a copy of the book. And then we have a bunch of upsells. I'll just show you on here. I just had these printed. They're still wrapped in the plastic. But basically, it's a free plus shipping offer. The first bump is just the order bump, $27 for the audiobook.
Yep.
Then we have a Pixel. It's called Pixel Perfect. It's a $97 course add-on that's just how to make sure the Pixel's set up, what you need to do to get it set up, so on and so forth. And then we have one called Viral Videos. This is actually part of the training we've already done for our existing clients, showing them how to create content some sample videos, what you need to say in your videos, all this stuff to build authority in your community. And then we have our CMU course for $997 on there. I
One
actually
click
turned the
right
ads
now on this page only, instead of $2,000, get it for $997.
right. In the way our positioning on that is, look, we've managed over $4 million in paid ads for chiropractors. We know what works. This is actually going to give you 27 done for you copy and paste ads that you can do. So we kind of positioned it like that. And it's almost like they're giving me the ads and they're going to show me how to set them up. This is a no-brainer. So we want to test the funnel a little bit before we start getting affiliates, because I want to be able to show them this is our average cart value. We're paying out a 40% commission. So I turned the ads on the other day, and the first person to go through it bought the 140s. No, he bought the upsell, the audiobook, and then the $997 course. It was like $1,000, but he actually messaged me and said, hey, there's a couple of glitches in the funnel. And as soon as the ad had been on for a couple of hours, we immediately shut it off, and we're going through to make sure the funnel is working properly.
Working right.
Good news is, the first person that went through the funnel and got the book,
the whole track all the way up,
did the $1,000 upsell. So that's a good sign.
That's a great indication. Yep. And it'll probably wind up, and the beautiful thing is that pays for all your advertising, and then a lion's share of those folks are going to wind up hiring the agency services.
That's the goal.
Yep.
So,
well, this has been great. I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time. I know you've got to run. Two last questions to wrap up.
Sure.
The first is, if someone wants to learn more about you or connect with you further, what would be the best way to engage?
The best way, I know I'm at 5,000 friends on Facebook, so sometimes I don't see on the message request, but you can go to the ChiroCandy Facebook page, which is you just Google or just search ChiroCandy, and you can send us messages on there. And if you want to schedule a call, if there's anything.
Agencies bought the course that you sell on your site?
What's that?
Would you be okay if other agencies bought the course on your site, or do you want that exclusively for chiropractors?
I don't care if other agencies buy it, but one of the things that comes with the course is a Facebook group where we do support and stuff in there. You have to be a chiropractor to be in the group.
Got it. So. Makes sense. Beautiful. So I guess my last question, and be sure, guys, if you've listened to this and you got tremendous value like I did, reach out to Billy. Thank him for sharing. This has been tremendous. I mean, 7 figures, 20 plus clients every single month, lots of ideas, not just on how to land clients and serve clients, but also really like the running of an agency and structuring an agency. You talked a lot about your Christian values, right? It sounds like, Baptist church, son went to Baptist college. I've got a Christian background as well. I was a missionary kid, lived in Haiti. How do you feel like your Christian values apply to the business and help make you a better entrepreneur?
Yeah. I used to try to I don't want to say separate the two. Like even on the podcast, at first I was like, well, should I? No, you know what? It's who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm going to share my faith. You mentioned Baptist. I have nothing against Baptist. We go to a non-denominational
Christian, right?
Yeah, but regardless, it's not separate. It's not like there's a different hat. It's just it's who I am. And fortunately, in our business, everybody that works for us, most of them know each other through church. One of the guys that works with us, his name's Matt. He and my son went to Bible school together, and he's just been a great asset. So whenever we do a Zoom meeting every Monday, and it's required. You can't, every once in a while somebody may miss it if something's going on, but we do it, every week. We start off the Zoom meeting with prayer request. Hey, what's going on? Anybody have any prayer requests? What can we pray for? And then we take turns, who's leading it. And it's something we do. It's just how we built the business. That's not saying you have to be a Christian to ever work with us or anything like that. It's just the culture of who we are. I don't know. Did that answer your question?
It did. No. I thought that was great. And I think you're going to attract the type of people that have similar values, not exclusively, but that's a great thing on your team, the clients you serve, and having those similar values makes it just an even more pleasurable business experience.
Yeah, one of my favorite scriptures when it comes to business is Proverbs 14:23. Says, "All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty." And just to encourage some of the people listening, you have this idea to start an agency, and you're reading books about it, and you're taking courses about it, and you're putting off reaching out to clients or potential clients. Mere talk leads to poverty. You gotta find people, even if it's doing the work for free at first. Get out there, get some success for somebody else. That's going to lead to your success.
I love it. I think it's a powerful note to end on. It's been an honor to spend this time with you. I really appreciate you sharing. And that's it. We'll wrap it there. Thanks so much for your time.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.